Vicky here with you, and I thought I was gonna do a special for you guys. I know how much you love Christmas cards, so I figured let's do a Christmas card video for you. It's been a while because obviously I did all through the month of December and I think in November a little bit, so I was really fed up by the time Christmas came along, and but now we're in February, so I'm thinking it would be a good time to start thinking of making some again. I won't be doing them every week, obviously, but it's kind of fun to do some once in a while, and I know that that's one of your favorites, so that's why I'm doing it for you. Now, I've pulled out some cards that I thought I could recycle, and so I tried to be as organized as I possibly can in this video, which is very rare. I usually am not that structured, so I'm trying, guys, to try to organize it. I've got my snowflakes and some bling over there, as well as the sentiments that are over there, and I pulled out some of the cardstock, American Craft cardstock in this color because I thought it would go well with the pattern paper. And the whole thing came about because I'm really trying to use up as much as possible. I've got a huge pack of recollection paper from Seasonal Pack, and I've had that pack forever and a day, so I'm trying to use it up this year. And so I pulled out 4 pieces of paper that were for the month of January, and so they're snow related, and I figured that would be still pretty good with Christmas cards. And because the Christmas paper for the month of December is pretty big, the patterns, and so yeah, I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with it. So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna start the timer just because I don't want to be going on forever and ever. I've got some of my smaller cards, they're already all set, so let's get going with this. So we'll be chopping this off and figuring which paper we're going to use and everything, and somehow my chair feels like it's lower. Okay. Told you guys I was organized, but I'm not that organized, I guess. So obviously it's pretty easy to think that it would be good to cut it about here, and then you've got all of that, and I'm gonna cut just this little edge. I'm not quite on the edge. This little edge and this little edge, and I'm gonna keep the happy holidays so I don't have to put a sentiment on that one, which is pretty cool. And then for the other side, I'm gonna remove all the white because obviously it's not gonna fit, it's not gonna look good. So we've got images for 2 cards already. Now I've pulled out the only part that I might not be as organized is I think my glue gun is gonna miss some glue, so I've pulled out a ribbon pack already, but I haven't cut it out. Now I have, before I go and cut this big piece of cardstock, I did pull out some cardstock from my bin of scraps, and I figured that we could use these first if they fit, and I think it will be a good idea because obviously I have a lot of scraps and I want to use them up as much as possible. And this is a pretty big piece, and I think it's gonna be perfect for this one. So I believe we'll be able to do 2 cards out of this piece and have a bit left over, a tiny bit. So we'll do that, and then cut this along. Now I like to layer, and so I want to add some of this paper Now let's decide which one would look better behind the image. That's a bit busy. I think the one that's gonna look the best is probably gonna be this one. Yeah, and it does have, you might not see it on camera, it might look strange, it might not look like it is, but the house is a similar color to this, so it will pull out that color, so that's good. So we'll cut out the piece. I'm gonna remove the edge just because there's a little bit of where the paper was torn out of the pack, and then we're gonna figure this one out. So can cut it around here, and might as well do the other cut so that I can put the big guillotine away after and use a smaller one. It's more convenient for my small desk. I really don't have, my desk is really not deep, so it is a struggle. It's one of the vintage desk, and that's what happens. It's not like these big desks these days, which are a lot bigger. So could do that, and I guess I could do the second one at the same time. So I hope you're staying well. Here it's been sunny, but kind of cold. A little bit of water. I feel like my throat is really dry. Okay, so there we go. Here we go. And I'm wondering if I want to put something else. So I've got some bling, so I could put bling. I do have this little bling here, which could be pretty on the side, especially since this side is a bit thicker than that side, because obviously I don't know how to align stuff. Or I can also use some of these little snowflakes, because I stacked up. That could be pretty as well. Maybe we could use that, and on the other one use a snowflake. So I'm gonna use a strip of this, and this way it kind of makes it look like I did this on purpose, which obviously I didn't. And I've got a cat hair right there. Cat hair everywhere. Okay, here we go. So that's the first card. I think it turned out super pretty. Now the second one is going to go fairly quickly because obviously all the parts have been cut already. put this little image. Now my only question is, do I put it a bit higher so I can put I think I'm going to put it higher so I can put the sentiment at the bottom. And I'm going to try to align it so that it's fairly even on both sides. And let's pull a sentiment out from this beautiful pack of sentiments that were sent along to me. Do I go with gold? Might be pretty with the gold because of the windows. What happened? Oh. I had one of those little things come out, so I just want to put it back onto its little sheet. It's missing some. That's what happened. These little friends came out. Okay, so put this here. So I'm thinking this here, and then I could add my little snowflake kind of in the corner. Okay, so let's pull out the tweezers that Marty gave me a while ago. These I find are the best tweezers for this. And I'm not gonna put it down fully just because I never can align it properly. So if I need to move any of the words, it's better if it's not fully glued down until I'm sure that the placing is okay, because it's a mess to remove otherwise. So if I do this, or do I think I'm going to pull it a little bit more to here. This way I have more place for the snowflake. And Christmas time. Here we go. And I'm going to put the snowflake right there. And I think that's going to be very pretty. And I'm going to use a bit of my squant tape, well, the Scorpal tape, a 1/4 inch. And put it right over here. And of course I want to add a little bling to it, and I'm thinking of these little twinkle goosebumps. They're my favorite out of them all, and I think I'm close to being out of these little goosebumps. I'm gonna have to hunt to see if they still exist. So here's the second card. So that went well so far. Then for this one, I'm thinking I'm gonna cut it like around here. So you've got like the other side of the river, and then you've got this, which I think is still a good size. Let's move these a bit. So obviously I'm gonna have to remove the edge because it's gonna look strange otherwise. I'm gonna cut it all the way. It's really nice to have a guillotine that actually cuts and doesn't tear the paper like mine was doing. I really like it. Still getting used to it because I really loved my other one, but we're doing okay together. At one point I almost cut a nail on it, but other than that it's going well. That would be pretty because of the fact that there's some trees like that over there, and maybe we can use a bluer one for the other. Be cool if I can use this strip instead of cutting another one, or this one. Okay, anyway, that's not the one we're doing right now. We're doing this one. So here we go. It's pretty cool if I get to use up all these scraps. I've used up a lot of my designer cardstock scrapbook papers that I had, but I haven't used a lot of the the plain cardstock. Okay, where's my image? Yes, that would work. So okay, so if I want to be lazy and I don't want to erase this pencil mark, let's put it on the other side. This way there's no pencil mark. And I don't need to pull out my eraser. Yay! Here we go. And then put that one right there. And then I'm thinking maybe I can put one of these. I still have this one here, which is in the right colors. So I could put that there. Oops. Here we go. And then I can put that away. And I'd like to put a little bling on it. I'm thinking it's gonna have to be like this one because I only have one left of this tiny one. So we're gonna put these two here. Whoops. Here we go. Yeah. So that's the next one. And then for this one, I really don't want, if I can use up this pack of scraps and not use the big cardstock, that would be pretty awesome. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with that and then cut this down, and then I can put the image kind of like here, and I can put the sentiment down here. So let's align this so that it kind of makes sense and I can cut properly. So I'm only gonna have a tiny piece left, which is cool. Really trying, guys, to use up those scraps. How are you doing with your scraps? Have you been multiplying them or using them up? That's the question. I'm really trying to be more mindful and use up as much as possible in one sitting. This way I don't have them left over, because I tend to not want to use them after. Get tired of seeing them, and yeah. And it's not good because then they don't get used. Okay, so we could put, I'm thinking more into the silver. And I'm thinking best wishes and possibly using up those little snowflakes. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna kind of align it so it'd be kind of in the middle. Best wishes. Whoops. It's not quite in the middle. I think more like here. And here we go. And then I'm gonna put two little snowflakes on one side and two little snowflakes on the other side. Oops. What happened? Okay. I'm getting much better at using these things up. I might actually have to say that I'm enjoying using them up, which is like a first, because I never used to use them at all, ever. So you guys kind of got me to use them, which is really cool. I think it's the tweezers that's the real trick with these. It's having the right tweezers for them. So here we go. Here's the next one. So we've got 4 done so far, which is pretty good. And then we have these little kids. Now these, I don't think I can cut them up any other way than cutting up the image. I don't see it, like, really, I'm not feeling it any other way. So I'm just gonna cut them up so that they can fit in on my card. Now, I don't usually do that. I usually have, oh, there's still a piece of white. I usually, you know, would try to cut them so that it's not just the image, but I'm not seeing really any other way, and they're really cute as they are, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go with that. Now this might be a good color combination. And then I have this strip here that I could layer. And my card is not straight. Okay, so let's try this again. Yep. How's that? I think I want to cut the image a little bit further. Just so it has a little bit a bigger thing, and then I would have liked to use, maybe I can put happy memories. Because they look like the type of little kids that would have happy memories. Cut out the comma so it doesn't look like there was something else that was supposed to be written there. And so how does that look? It's pretty cool because it goes with the color of their little top. So I'm thinking that this is pretty good. And then I can put this here. Now, do I want to add something else to it? Like a little snowflake there? I do have different shape ones. I think I prefer the one that's rounded instead of the point, because that one is pointy. I do have this one as well, which is more delicate. Oh, I think that's even better, the more delicate one. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with this. And put it right there. In my profile. So we made 5 cards. There's 2 minutes left. I don't think I'm going to be doing another one. Or maybe will I? Because the other one I think would be 2 cards, and not sure I want to go into making 2 cards. So here it is. Yeah, the other cards I have, this would make 2 cards. I was thinking this one, because there's a chimney here, there's a chimney there and one there, but there's a little door here, and this has a pad going here, so I was thinking I could cut this like this, and you would be thinking that this is a little house, so you wouldn't realize that something is missing. And then if you cut it here, it kind of goes as well. Like, you probably figure that there's something, but not that much, and there's still a big chunk of the card. So that's what I would do with that one. This one I would probably cut like something like this, and then this big part here, because just the tree is really, it's Christmassy in my head. Then there's this envelope, which obviously you can figure out what would be cut, and this big one, which is also pretty obvious how I would cut it, and there's also the envelope. So those will probably be what we work on the next time we do Christmas cards. I think I'm gonna put the rest of these papers with them, so maybe I can remember to use it with these. So because I do have these little strips left, and I'm only got this out of my big 12 by 12 piece of paper, so not bad. Used up quite a lot, and I didn't use any new cardstock, so that's a positive. I hate when it won't stop. That's a big positive. So I was able to use only the cardstock that I had already started, my scraps. So that's amazing. It's always something I long to do, so that I'm not making more scraps. But I wasn't sure it was going to work out, so that's why I did it that way and pulled out the cardstock, just so that I was prepared. But yeah, so here are the cards we've created today, and I'm really liking them. I'm curious to know which one is your favorite. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I love the feedback, and I would love it if you subscribe. I always make at least 1 card video a week, and I'm trying to post more of other stuff. So if you're interested in recycling and reusing and art journaling and stationery and fountain pens, those are all items that I go into, as well as sometimes like gardening in the summertime. So anyway, love you guys, stay safe, and see you soon. Bye.